All right, today I wanted to do a video on using the box method. You might remember when we did multiplying polynomials and we used the box method, I told you that we would eventually be factoring to go backwards. So, this is my favorite method for solving quadratics. So the first thing you're going to want to do is if there's a greatest common factor, you have to divide it out. Otherwise, this isn't going to work. Then you're going to put the first term in your first box, the last term in your last box. Then just like the AC method you've done before, multiply A by C, find the factors that add up to B. Then you're going to factor the box. If the term on the outside is negative, then the row is negative. This will make so much more sense once you see it done. All right, so I'm going to take 4x squared minus 10x plus 6. And my first step says to divide out the greatest common factor. And 4, negative 10, and 6 all have 2 in common. So we're going to factor out 2. 2x squared, negative 10x divided by 2 is negative 5x, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. When you rewrite these, when you're factoring something out, if this is as far as you had to go, you would need to rewrite it as this. Put the 2 on the outside because this has the same value as this. I've seen people say, well, I factored out the 2 and here's what I have now. It has to have the same value. You have to write the 2 there. All right, but now we want to completely factor. So we're going to take this piece and we're going to use the box method. It just takes a little bit of the puzzle away and just shows you where to put the pieces. So the first term goes in the first box. The last term goes in the last box. Now we're going to multiply A times C. Remember, this is AX squared plus BX plus C. So I'm going to take A and C and multiply them together. 2 times 3 gives me 6. Now I want to find the factors of 6. Find the factors that add up to B. And my B value is negative 5. I want them to add up to negative 5. So the factors of 6 are 1 times 6, which could also be negative 1 times negative 6. But that doesn't add up to 5. That's negative 7. All right, and then we have 2 times 3. Negative 2 times negative 3. All right, and negative 2 times negative 3 equal negative 5. So negative 2 plus negative 3 equals negative 5. So these are the ones we're looking for. It doesn't matter which box I put them in. I'm going to put negative 2x here, negative 3x there. If I put them the other way, it wouldn't matter. I would get the same answers, I promise. Okay, so 2x squared and negative 2x have 2x in common. See, so I'm factoring it out here. 3 and negative 3x have 3 in common. Remember I said if the outside term is negative, the row is negative. See, this term here is negative, so we put negative 3. 2x squared and negative 3x only have x in common. Negative 2x and 3 don't really have anything in common. The only thing you can divide them both by is 1. And again, this is negative. so these are my factors, along with that 2 that we already divided out. So you would write this as 2 times 2x minus 3 times x minus 1. This is our answer factored completely. All right, I'm going to put another piece of paper here and do another one. If you want to be able to see it for a second, take a screenshot for the notes. All right, I'm going to do another example. And I messed this one up earlier because I factored it wrong. When I tried to take the greatest common factor out, I only divided it by 2 and it messed the whole thing up. Let me find my example. Oh, here we go. 6x squared plus 6x minus 36. And don't ask how I divided out the wrong one. I was trying to mess around and find one that'd be easy to do. All right, so the first thing you want to do, divide out your greatest common factor. Oh, maybe pause it, try doing one on your own, come back and see if you are doing what I'm doing. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is divide out my greatest common factor of 6. Okay, so we get x squared plus x minus 6. Then I'm going to do a box here with 6x squared in the first box, negative 36 in the last box. Ooh, I really just did that. Let's take our new polynomial that we're actually trying to factor and put it in a box. All right, x squared here, negative 6 here. All right, then we're going to take a and c and multiply them together. 1 times negative 6 is negative 6. And we want the factors of negative 6 that add up to 1. All right, so it could be 6 times negative 1, negative 6 times 1, 2 times negative 3, or negative 2 times 3. So negative 2 and 3 will add up to 1, so those are the factors we want. Negative 2 in one box, 3 in the other. All right, x and an x. X squared and 3x just have x in common. Negative 2x and negative 6 have negative 2 in common. X squared and negative 2x just have x in common. 3x and negative 6 have 3 in common. And see, this one's positive, so this will be positive here. So you get factors x minus 2 and x plus 3. And don't forget that 6.